Hi, I'm Olga from Astrology for Gann Traders, and I've had a few requests to produce another demo demonstrating tools inside Timing Solution, software I use to analyze cycles. And so let's get started. I'll just show you some of the tools that I use very regularly. There's so much in here, it could take me a few days to explain everything, but let's start with something when we want to use a first trade date for a stock or a commodity. We can go in here, there's already some listed within here in Timing Solution. I want to concentrate on something that Gann had. He had a coffee natal for when started trading, futures started trading, and I'll show you what his actual original one looked like. It looked like this, his horoscope, and what I've done is taken that date and put it inside Timing Solution. So now we have this natal chart demonstrated actually inside, showing you exactly that chart. Now you can edit this. There's some extra points in here, some of the asteroids, which I don't want to use, so I can say don't use them. Okay, so we just click. You can modify this, alter it to the way you want and change what's in here, and also you can change the aspects in here that are displayed. So that's our natal chart, and that's that little button here. Now what we have to do is import some data. Press this button, open your files, and you should have, well, you can import any data you have in here, and I've got this monthly data for cotton going back quite a bit, and I'm going to load that. Now this is going to take a little bit of time because there's a lot of data. Now the more data you have, obviously you will be able to study long-term planetary cycles. For example, if you only had 30 years, you could only do one Saturn cycle in that 30 years. So that's limiting how much information you're going to get in terms of the probability of something happening. The more cycles you have, you're overlapping them. It's like you're creating composites that, like Gann did, and you can understand why Gann travelled to London or to get data of cotton and wheat going hundreds of years. Okay, and because the more data you have, the more analysis you can do about how, every time a planet's in a certain sign, what happened at that point. It can give you some statistical analysis for that. Okay, so once we have the data loaded, now it's all loaded, I can start doing some analysis. Now basically once you have this, I can just take any point, just right click, and I can, if I click onto that point, that little high there, I can go up to this transit transits to natal, and we can have a look at what was happening astrologically at that point to give a high. Okay, so this will help you with analysing highs and lows. Okay, so we've got the inner wheel is the natal position, and the outer wheel gives us the transits. So that's easy. Then another thing you can do is actually look at, go to the astronomy panel here, click on there, and as I said, let's start with Saturn. The cycle of Saturn on coffee. This is going to give you, because I've got this data, almost have, there's 6.75 cycles, so it's almost 7 cycles of Saturn that this composite is based on. Now can you see when I move my cursor here, there's this little button here is telling you exactly where that is. So this peak here, for example, before it pulls back and falls dramatically, we're looking at around 13 degrees of Libra. Okay, so mid Libra, after that we get a decline. So that's interesting, that's telling you something to study. Okay, how do we analyze this now? Let's have a look. What I then do is I close that up, and you can see the Saturn cycle on the actual data. Now if you want to overlap that, there's a little button here that looks like a graph. If you press that, that Saturn cycle will be superimposed on your chart. If we can look out now into the future, that's what it looks like. Okay, so we have a peak in here. Now, what I then do, I want to know is there something in the natal chart at mid-Libra that might give us an understanding about this cycle. So then what you do is just have a look at your, sorry, that's the wrong chart, the natal chart. Natal chart won't come up. From here it comes. The natal chart, is there anything in the natal chart at mid-Libra? And you can see here the natal moon is at 15 degrees of Libra. So it's in here. After that point, after Saturn hits that point, there's a dramatic fall in coffee. Okay, so once I know that, what I can then do is go to the ULE, press that and say edit, and you'll get a window coming up with lots of astrological tools that you can use. What I want to show you first of all is the aspects. So we want to run some aspects of Saturn. So click on Saturn, conjunct natal moon, and we don't want any orbs, so we want the exact time that happened, and then you press the plus button and it'll come in your window here, and then you just say calculate. So that's already calculated that for us, and we can look back at every time that has happened in the past where these peaks are. Okay, so what you can also then do, if you press this button here, that's the efficiency test, it's going to give you the stats for that, what happened in the past. Okay, so let's have a look. Pretty much in the past there's been, after 5 days before and 4 days after culmination, which culmination means when that aspect is exact, there was an upward trend. That is 86% up. Okay, now if we look in here, the last time had happened was in 82, and then the future dates here is 2001. So this is given a future date. There's no data in there at that point. Okay, so there you go, we've got that listed. Now, the other thing I want to show you is I want to be able now to import some current data, because that only goes up to 95 there. So if I put in add data, so you go to file, add price data. I've got some more coffee monthly, more current coffee monthly, add, and it'll add it for me. There you go, that's added it for me, and you can see that is amazing. That is showing me that when Saturn was actually conjunct the natal moon, was the last time we had that high in coffee. So that is showing you that Gann's natal is still working. Isn't it amazing? And that's just one point in the natal chart, and there's a lot more you can do, and I have done it before in some of my lectures that I've presented on, but this is what having this software, obviously if you want to analyze things, you can do with a push of a button, and why I love it so much. So thank you for listening, and the software is Timing Solution. And if you have any more requests that you want me to show you how to use some of the tools, just send me an email, and I'll put up some more videos. Thank you.